solve another Leetcode problem 712. Minimum ask to delete sum for two strings. So we are giving two strings S1 and S2. So we're going to return the lowest ask to sum of deleted characters to make two strings equal. So for this problem, so for example, S1 is SEA and S2 is EAT. Yeah. This is something similar to longest common subsequence problem, but it's going to be a little bit different. It means for every time we are not just for like deleting S and deleting T. We have to check what's going to be the minimum, what's going to be the lowest ask to sum of the deleted characters. And in this example, if we delete character S, it's going to be 155. Yeah, so this is going to be the odd value of character S. And similarly for this character T, so it's going to be 116. So the final result of this one plus this one is going to be 231. Yeah, but we're going to use the longest common subsequence idea to solve the problem. So for the character, so for example, this character A, if this character A and equal to this character A, so definitely we don't need to do anything. But what if they are not equal? So for example, if this character yeah, so if this character A not equal to this character T, so what are we gonna do? We're gonna choose the subproblem. Yeah, so the subproblem is gonna be SEA and EA. So this will be one of the subproblems. So the second subproblem is that we're gonna choose SE and EAT. But while we are choosing the subproblem, for example, the first one, the first case. So for this one, this means we're gonna delete a character T, and we need to plus a value. So this value is gonna be 116. And similarly for here, we're gonna plus a value. This value is gonna be 115. But finally, we're gonna choose the lowest sum of all those values. Yeah. So plus this one, but finally we're going to choose the lowest. So it's going to be the minimum of the 2 in this case. But if they are equal, for example, this character equal to this character A, we don't need to do anything. We just need to choose the subproblem. Yeah. So those are the two cases. But there's going to be another case. So for example, we have something like like character AAA, and for S2 it's going to be character A. So this means for this one equal to this one, this one equal to this one, this character A equal to this character A is finished. But here it's empty. Here we have 2A. We still need to delete those two characters because even though we don't have any character anymore, but we still need to delete it. Only if we delete it, then this character, this string going to equal to this string. So this means we still need to calculate what is the total sum of those two characters A and A. So it's going to be like 97 plus 97. We still need to finish those two characters. Yeah, this is the only difference from the longest common subsequence. Now let's just start coding. I'm going to use a case and I'm going to define function f, I, and j. Here I'm going to give a pass. Yeah. So to make the calculation a little bit easier, for S1 and S2, I'm going to turn it into a list. I'm going to prepare the map of the odd value. So first of all, I'm going to turn the string S1 and S2 to integers instead of just the character, because finally I'm going to return something like the numbers, integers. Yeah. So here is a map odd for S1, and similarly we can use a list of map with odd of S2. Yeah. So now let's just check what is S1 and S2. Let me just return a 0 at the moment. So as you can see, we just turned the string into a list of numbers. So this is going to make the problem really easy. So for example, this is 100 and 0, this is 100 and 0. This means this character E equal to this character E from here. Yeah. So basically, if the numbers are equal, it means that the characters are equal. This just makes the calculation a little bit easier. We don't need to turn it into odd anymore because we've already turned it into odd. It means we've already turned it into numbers. Yeah. We're gonna finally call the function. It's gonna be I'm gonna use r minus 1 and c minus 1. And r and c, let me just prepare r and c. It's gonna be the length of s1. What is s1? And the length of the s2. Yeah. So here it's going to be a little bit different. If I less than 0 or j less than 0, if we are just calculating the longest common subsequence, we can return a 0 directly. But here it's going to be different. We have to check if I less than 0 and j less than 0. So we can return a 0 directly because there's nothing left behind. But if one string finished and another string it's not yet finished, there is still some other characters. We still need to combine those characters. We still need to calculate those characters. So this means we need a sum of s. This is s1 to I plus 1. We need to finish those characters. Yeah. So if j less than 0, it means that still we have some characters from s1 to I. Yeah. And else we need to sum of s2 with characters g plus 1. Yeah. So this case is for if I less than 0, it means we don't have any characters in string s1, but we have some characters in string s2, and we still need to sum up of all those values from index 0 to index j. Yeah, so this is the hard part of the problem, I think. And after that, we can directly use the very basic idea of longest common subsequence. So if s1 I equal to s2 j, so we're gonna return f I minus 1 and j minus 1. Else, and we're gonna return the minimum of the two. So fi minus 1 to j. So we're gonna plus a value of s1 I, and another one gonna be fi with j minus 1, and we're gonna plus a value of s2 j. Yeah. Now let me just run it to check if it works. Now as you can see, it works. Yeah, I think this way gonna make the problem a little bit easier. Instead of you are using the real dynamic programming, the tabulation, but basically it's the same idea. But here the only difficult part is that if I less than 0 and j less than 0, we need to consider two situations. Yeah. So if they are exactly the same, it means for s1 and s2 it becomes empty. We can directly return a 0 because there's nothing to calculate. But if there's something left behind for s1 or s2, we have to sum up all those values, all those characters for the final result. Yeah. I think that's basically everything about it. Let me just submit it to check if it works. As you can see, it works and it passed for all testing cases. I think that's all about it. Thanks for watching. See you next time.